What's up, guys? We got a great video from the modern king. Greedy ex-wife demanded his inheritance, gets evicted instead.
Everything has always been put into his parents' name.
Ma'am, that does not qualify, nor does it. Move on, please.
I was just alive here.
We don't care.
You inherited $400,000?
No, I didn't.
Who inherited the rest of that then?
I don't know what you're referring to. The rest of what?
When you received that IRA, you did not tell me that it was $400,000 to be split amongst you, your brother, your parents, and your mom's brother.
I did not tell you that. And I also can't speak to what other people have inherited. I can only speak to what
I'm asking you if that is what you said to me.
I already just answered it. No, I didn't tell you that.
So you were lying to me then, or are you lying to me now?
I didn't tell you that.
He probably doesn't want to pay you not anything. Why did you divorce the man and you were chasing even after his inheritance? Yeah? Why did you divorce the man? He probably told her. And now she's using that information, and guess what? She drags him to court, and probably that's the only information she has. No other evidence. So it's she say, he say. Oh, man.
Now, I also don't know the relevance.
The relevance is you hiding things.
I don't hide anything.
Because if you were to get one, wouldn't your parents and everybody else get one?
Relevance?
Yeah, objection, Your Honor.
Relevance is you hiding finances.
Okay.
Once again.
Ma'am, yeah, you haven't produced any documents to show that anything has been hidden. And I've given you some leeway to get into that. And you simply come back to the same thing, that he's hiding stuff, but you don't have any documentation that he's hiding anything. So unless you can produce anything, you need to go into a different line of questioning.
The only people who make up claims and expect others to blindly believe it with no evidence backing it up only do that because they are used to it working.
Your Honor, I was waiting until my statement to let it all out. I have never been allowed to know any finances. Everything has always been put into his parents' name.
Ma'am,
that
does not qualify, nor does it, in fact, refute anything that the court has said that you need to produce. So if you have documentation, then you had a right to produce that, and you didn't do that. So,
Your Honor, I do not have any paperwork about anything. Anything that I have learned is just recently. I was financially abused, mentally, emotionally, physically.
Move on, please.
I was just alive here.
Move on. Again, you had a right to produce that. You didn't produce it. You could have engaged in, under the case scheduling order, you had a right to engage in discovery. You did not do that, and you did not produce any documentation as required by the case scheduling order. So I've given you leeway to ask him the questions, but
Your Honor,
no, go ahead and ask questions, ma'am. I'm not going to just continue to engage in the same dispute with you. So go on.
She claims that she only learned of it recently, but what she really means is that she just recently got the idea to make up the story. But when the judge calls her out for not having any evidence to back it up, she claims he abused her, which seems to be a common theme every time they don't get their way.
You would like me and my kids, which were named on the eviction notice, all other occupants, to leave the home that we've been living in since 2010, and I've been their primary caregiver since you left this home, so you can move in here, and you were solely one person?
I'm not the owner of the home. I had nothing to do with the eviction. But since you are being evicted, yes, I may move down to that home, which my parents own.
Who's paid the bills here for since 2010?
Who's paid the bills there?
Yes.
I paid bills.
Yes, you have. Who paid for the remodels that have happened to this house? Probably over $60,000. Who paid for those?
I have no knowledge of $60,000 worth of remodels, but what's the relevance?
Did you get new windows in the house?
Objection, Your Honor. I don't see how this is relevant.
Okay. Ma'am, how is it relevant, any improvements or repairs to the house?
Because this was our home. This was Michael's home until he decided he wanted to divorce me. Now it's all of a sudden their home.
Okay. Well, ma'am, if you could present any deeds or anything like that showing that it's deeded to his name or the two of your name, then the court would again entertain that. But you've not produced anything to that extent, so the court will sustain the objection. You'll have to move on.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Okay.
So if I get this is a house maybe inherited, maybe him and their brothers or sisters and the family, they inherited the house from their parents, and it's not outright in his name. And now this woman, maybe they had an issue with the man, and then they split. The man left their house, but she probably has not been paying anything for that house. She's not been paying rent or any lease. Maybe there's no lease agreement. So now she's been evicted. And now she has a problem or she wants to sue. So she's okay leaving the man or divorcing the man, and that man continues to take care of her. She thinks maybe that's okay with her. You leave the man. You don't want to be married to the man. You chase him out of his home. And you still want that man to take care of you. He's not your parent. He's your ex-husband. Help me understand here. And the man knows what he's doing. I mean, he might actually even move into that house. Once he's even updated certain things, he's remodeled the house. Guys, this is not really to maybe to show dislike towards anybody here, or maybe I want to seem like I'm a deadbeat guy, but like some of these things don't really make sense. You understand it? There are so many men out there, if you hear their stories, they'll tell you somebody becomes homeless because the wife decided to divorce them when they get jacked out of their own home they paid for. No one talks about how unfair that is or how bad that is. And these people sometimes they get into depressions and all that. No one talks about that. No one brings a light to that. You understand? You mean that your life can change. How comfortable you've been living, that can change by just the woman that you loved, you've been taking care of, deciding to say no, she no longer wants to be with you, and she filed some restraining orders so that and guess what, they even start bringing their boyfriends in your own house. How unfair that is. I mean, at least they can be decent not to bring their boyfriend or the boyfriend not to move in your own house. So I think maybe these are situations, they don't just talk about them, but you find that maybe from 2010, it's been 15 years ago. In this 15 years ago, there's been maybe so many guys that have been shacking in that house with her. And his kids are also there. It's like apparently they have an uncle, a temporary uncle. A year later, another uncle shows up. So you as a man now, you're like, I have to put an end to this.
All right. How many assets of ours have your parents had in their name?
None.
The Buick you drove since 2011 when you got it until you changed it into your name was not driven by you and
That
you
what
only?
it wasn't my asset until I bought it off of them, and then yes, the title was transferred into my name. That's how it usually occurs.
It says that it wasn't bought for anything on the paperwork. Is that a lie?
Objection, Your Honor. I didn't hear that.
Yeah, I didn't catch that either, ma'am. You'll have to re-answer it so we can hear.
In the transfer papers, it said that it was not bought for anything, wasn't paid off. It wasn't your credit cards that paid on that or your money that came from an account sent over to your mother's account to pay for it.
I didn't send any money to my mother's account.
How did you pay the bills here? How'd the money get to them?
The bills go on my credit card that I pay.
The bills that are in your mother's name.
Well, some are in her name, some are in mine.
Isn't it true only the trash is in your name?
I would have to go through the bills. The ADT is in my name as well. There's more
Yes,
than just
because
the trash.
did we not put the ADT in? Did we not have that installed?
It's always funny how they fight tooth and nail to try and take money and or property that doesn't belong to them. Now let's take a look at what happens when a judge refuses to tolerate this nonsense.
Okay, ma'am, hold on. This is a different issue. We're looking at why
No.
he has, ma'am.
Yes, I understand
ma'am,
that. They
stop,
barred me from
stop,
the house.
stop, ma'am. The issues before the court are why is he not getting his parenting time? Why has he not gotten the other gun? And why have you not paid for the vehicle?
Okay, I'm telling you, they barred me from the house, didn't let me get mine and my kids' stuff like the order said, and I had no access to the gun. I wasn't there on November 1st because they barred me from the property. I had no access to anything. Okay, my kids were sitting there helping me move their thing that had gotten ruined and destroyed by their father and his parents being thrown outside and broken into my storage unit. I had no access to the guns or anything. They were inside the house. My daughter, he wrote both of them. He lives with his parents. They no longer want to go over there to his parents' house because him and his parents did this to them. So they barred me from the premises and changed the locks on us. I had no assist. It was what, before November 1st? How was I going to meet him there with the kids? How was I going to meet him there at all? How was I going to give him anything from the house?
It does appear that in this matter, based upon the defendant's response, that she has not provided for the parenting time, so the court will hold her in contempt for failure to comply with the parenting time. The court will order that, again, that the plaintiff is entitled to 14 days of makeup parenting time with the daughter, 7 days with the son, that those would be made up at a time of his choice, but not over holidays that would be received by the defendant, but at other times, upon 10 days notice to the defendant. The court would order that she turn over the Colt pistol if she has that. If not, we'll have to address that at some later point if she's claiming that she doesn't have that in her possession. The court would award attorney fees in this matter. Mr. Todd, what are your fees for this matter?
$920, Your Honor.
Court would award a sum of $920, which will be paid within 60 days of today's date. And the court would order that she would pay bring the Ford Explorer current within 30 days of today's date.
Yep.
Failing to bring that current, then the court would order that it be sold.
If you enjoyed this video, I promise you'll enjoy this next video. I will see you there.
I think there is really need for some of these laws concerning divorce, marriage. I think there is need for them to be looked into, or else people won't be getting married, because with this kind of behavior that women just want to take things that they didn't even work for, you know. And at the same time, they want to also take away your kids. They want to poison the kids against you so that your kids think you're a deadbeat father. There's never, they don't make it easier for you to have a proper relationship with your kids, especially if you're not giving them money, especially the money that they're asking for, the money that they want. They take you to court. The court orders that maybe your child support be reduced. You think they'll be happy. They won't be happy. They'll make it hard for you to have a great relationship with your kids. They will actually turn your kids against you, you know. In cases like this where a woman is not financially stable, why not give the kids to the father? And then you just have visitation. But you want to keep the kids when you're struggling financially and end up dragging their father into court. Guys, thanks for watching and subscribe to the channel.